Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien here on the morning of Monday, September 11th, 2023, 22 years after 9/11. Well, sitting in for Paul Harvey today. Stand by for the rest of the story. And today's story is not about 9/11, but it's about your heritage, Americans. And it's about Hank. Hank was a 17-year-old kid who was not much into anything really except for one thing: watches. He loved watches. He tinkered with them: pocket watches, clocks, anything that you know, but he loved watches. Well, he went to this store and the store had just bought a humongous amount of watches from another store that had them in their inventory and didn't know what to do with them. They were not working watches. They were going to throw them away. And the store, he looked at Hank and he says, "Well, I see that you like watches, son." Hank was about 17. And he said, "Yes, sir. Can I help you?" He says, "Well, I'm in a rock and a hard place. I just bought this store and look at all these watches they had in the inventory. I should have looked at this before I purchased the store. What am I going to do with them?" Well, Hank says, "Well, if you give me a place to work, I can look at these watches and see if I can fix them, and you can sell them. I can reservice them, and there will be working watches that you can sell back to the public." He says, "Oh, okay, but we want you away from the public so they don't see what you're doing." He says, "Oh, that's no problem. Put me wherever you want, sir." So he put him in this back room there with no windows and no nothing. And Hank could care less. He was more involved with the watches. And in no time at all, he had taken on mountains of watches. And there was mountains of watches. And he took what he could to repair and repaired. Couldn't repair all of them, but repaired most of them. The account is he repaired like 95% of them. Wow, that's a lot, He was a good guy. So the store owner was so engaged with Hank that he worked there for 3 years. And then they said, "Well, Hank, you got anything else?" He says, "Well, yeah, we could mass produce watches." And remember, at this time, watches were considered handmade. There was no such thing as mass-produced watches. Well, the owner scrunched and he said, "But you know that people," he says, "Well, you can tell them that this is produced and now we'll figure out how to do it." So for the next 6 months, Hank, he started to tinker with that and find the right technology to mass produce this. And he had everything done in 6 months. All the equipment that he needed to mass produce watches, big time. And he had calculated that he could sell the watches at 30 cents a watch. But somewhere along the line, Hank realized, hey, wait a second. If I'm selling these at 30 cents a watch, I'm going to have to mass produce millions before I can get a satisfactory profit for I can live on. That's a lot of watches. You're looking at millions you're going to have to produce there. Yeah. And all of a sudden, Hank got cold feet. So he took everything back, gave everything back, and never repaired a watch again. Kind of strange, though. Imagine what he would have done if he would have continued on with the watches. But anyway, his brain started working on something else. And then he figured, we can mass produce this for a better profit than watches. That's why history does not record and you don't remember Hank as Hank the watchmaker. But do you remember the Model T and Henry Ford? Hank was Henry Ford, the watchmaker, who got cold feet because he wasn't getting enough money. But he used what he learned on mass producing of watches and put it into effect to mass produce automobiles, the assembly line. Therefore, today, you got the Ford Motor Company and not the Ford Watch Company. Sitting in for Paul Harvey, this is your favorite alien. And now, you know the rest of the story. Good day.